Getting a U.S. visa is not easy in 2025. The process is tough for everyone, but for people from some Asian countries, it is nearly impossible to get approval. In this video, we talk about the 7 Asian countries will never get U.S. visas again in 2025 and explain the real reasons behind this. And now, let's start. Number 7. China. China's strained relationship with the United States is nothing new. But in 2025, it's reached a boiling point, and the consequences may soon include a total visa ban. Why is China at risk? The first reason is espionage concerns. The U.S. has long accused China of cyber spying and intellectual property theft. This affects visa holders, as Chinese nationals, even students and workers, are now viewed with suspicion. It could stop them from entering the U.S. The U.S. might block access to reduce potential security risks. Ongoing tensions in the South China Sea and China's support for Russia's global stance add to the problem. These actions make the U.S. question whether Chinese citizens should be allowed free entry. Visa approvals are heavily influenced by political relations. In 2024, visa restrictions were already expanded, and in 2025, some categories are nearly frozen. Number 6. Indonesia. In 2025, Indonesia finds itself in a troubling position as the U.S. considers tightening visa rules for its citizens. Why? 2 main reasons. Visa overstays and growing ties with China. Overstaying is not a small issue. Thousands of Indonesians have stayed in the U.S. illegally after their visas expired, making it harder for others to gain entry. The U.S. sees these actions as a threat to immigration control. This could lead to a full ban. The U.S. has sanctioned countries before for similar behavior. Overstaying isn't the only concern. Political alignment with China is making Washington uncomfortable. Indonesia has deepened its trade and defense ties with Beijing. This matters to the U.S. because it fears rising Chinese influence in Southeast Asia. That shift could impact visas. The U.S. may limit entry to those from countries perceived as aligned with rivals. Number 5. Myanmar's political instability has caught international attention for years, but in 2025, it's creating direct consequences for U.S. visa policies. Why is on the verge of a U.S. visa ban? First, ongoing human rights abuses. Since the military coup, thousands of civilians have faced violence and displacement. This affects U.S. policy, as the U.S. often denies visas to countries with serious human rights violations. Another problem is lack of cooperation with U.S. deportation orders. When the U.S. deports undocumented Myanmar nationals, Myanmar often refuses to accept them back. This could lead to visa cancellation. Countries that don't cooperate with deportations are commonly targeted for bans. In 2025, the U.S. is re-evaluating its stance on immigration from troubled regions. Myanmar could lose access completely. With security risks, humanitarian concerns, and poor diplomatic engagement, the U.S. may stop issuing visas altogether. Students, workers, and families hoping to travel to the U.S. may lose all opportunity. Only democratic reform and international cooperation can bring change.